Hi everybody, I'm Ingi from Tarot Wikipedia. Thanks. The first card, Ace of Pentacles. So basically the Pentacles is about your lendables. It's about the physical world you live in, your money, your routine. If you're in a good routine that provides for you, then you get a lot of Pentacles showing up. If you're in a routine that isn't really providing for you, the Pentacles, they just disappear out of the layout. And that's a good sign then that whatever you're doing, it's not really bringing in anything of substance and nothing you can really rely on. So you're not preparing very well for your future. So you're not in a very good routine and you're not structured, most likely. So this is how you can, the tarot will actually tell you when you need to make changes. And also, it will tell you when something is going to happen and you need to prepare for it now. So if the Pentacles are absent, it basically means that you're not really prepared for what's to come. So it's a good idea to have a few Pentacles showing up in your readings. Now if Five of Pentacles is showing up, it can mean that you might feel a bit low in confidence and self-esteem. So Five of Pentacles is, I'm going to go through the card meanings first, but Five of Pentacles is the one Pentacles that speak of hardship. So when it shows up, it means that maybe you feel a bit low in confidence and you're not really trusting in yourself enough. So you're not really functioning at the optimum. But there are friends and family there that will help you and you can rely on them. Different story if that card is reversed. I'm going to talk about that. But generally, when the Pentacles show up, then there is something there in your life that has a lot of substance, and you are, living your life in a way that brings substance and security to your life. Let's get started with Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles speak of gifts and new beginning. It's a new life being created. It's a new opportunity. It can mean that you will get a new job, for example, or there's an investment payout, or something that you can rely on financially. So often I see Ace of Pentacles when the seeker is creating a new life for themselves, and there's a new way of supporting themselves. There's a new abundance showing up, and there's a lot of opportunities in this card. So a lot of support as well. So wherever you're living now, wherever you're creating your new life, there is hidden opportunities that you will discover. That will be income opportunities for you, and even even business opportunities. Two of Pentacles is a card that often confuses people, because what does it mean? It's a person here with the two Pentacles that he has in a loop of an infinity symbol. So that symbolizes that he has enough. He has enough of what he needs. And then there's the ups and downs, as you can see the ships in the background. So it means that you have enough to go around. But more than that, this card speaks of your hobbies, your interests, your passions in life. And turning whatever it is that you love doing. Look at this person. He's playing. He's having fun. He's enjoying what he's doing. There's something that he loves doing. And now the seeker will turn this into a possible, new opportunity. So it could be a hobby that you turn into a career or a business. It can also mean that you really love your job. So when you go to work, it might not be the highest paid job, but you enjoy it so much that you feel like you're not even working. That's what this card is. It's a non-resistance attachment to money. So because there is not really that need to, earn a lot of money, you know that you have enough for everything to go around in your life. So therefore, you're willing to sacrifice a high-paid job with a less-paying job because you enjoy this work so much. And you know that that will benefit your health and actually bring you happiness that you can put into creative pursuits and ideas. So that is what the seeker, that's the mindset of the seeker. They're not really after the big paycheck, they're after the lifestyle. So they just need a job that can support them, so they have, so they can enjoy their life on a day-to-day basis, have fun, and also invest in their hobbies. Because there is often two sources of income, and that's why also there's two Pentacles, two sources of income. But one is very much created by the seeker itself. Three of Pentacles speak of teamwork. This is more like when you're really working in a sort of a high-functioning team. There's a lot of expertise here. This is where you can really earn a good amount of money, because this card often shows up when the seeker is a valuable member of a team that is highly functioning, and therefore you bring in abundance. So this is when work becomes really important, and you're often very career oriented, and you're often excelling, and there's like opportunities to grow. So this is progress. That's number 3 in numerology, is progress. It's progress at work, which can lead to, you know, higher paying jobs. So now the seeker is really career oriented, but they love what they do. They spend a lot of time at work, and they're willing to do this because it gives them satisfaction, and it's also the teamwork. So it's often a very sort of specialized team, and you are part of that team because of all the knowledge and skills that you bring to the team. 4 of Pentacles, this speaks of contracts where there's a lot of money involved. So now the seeker is kind of on top of the world, as you can see. The seeker here is sitting on top of a rooftop above everybody with his money. So it speaks of having money. It means that you have money in the bank. You probably have savings now. And you are maybe investing that money in a business that will give you more money. So now it's all about, you know, you really a business-oriented mindset. Now it's all about the big money, big dollars. The seeker is conservative, most likely, and will invest only in something that the seeker is really confident will give a high return. If not, the seeker is not going to really invest. They're just going to wait. They're very patient. They're not impulsive. They are very conservative now with their money and their savings. 5 of Pentacles, like we just talked about, it's the one card that will show up, and like Pentacles speaks of being in a routine. This is a general rule for Pentacles. When you're in a routine that's really supporting you, and you can create a lot of abundance for yourself. So 5 of Pentacles speaks of when you're kind of like out in the cold, so you might not feel like you have a lot of money, but this card speaks more of feeling kind of not great about yourself, having low self-esteem and want to compensate. So often they speak of people that work really hard for very little, because they just don't have that self-worth that they deserve to be properly financially rewarded for the efforts they're doing. And sometimes they go way beyond what they're meant to be doing in their jobs. So that can cause problems as well. They don't always, you know, and that has to do with just wanting to compensate. So when this card is showing up, just do a bit of meditation around your self-worth, so that you know that you're worthy and deserving, and that you can live free from sacrificing too much and getting off track completely. Have a plan and stick to the plan. This card also speaks of when you do have financial hardship, then there is actually people there supporting you. So there's like 2 people here, as you can see, out in the snow, out in the cold, but then there's like a church building. So that speaks of charity. There is something there, a system in place that will, it's like a net that will catch you. That net is often family and friends. It can also mean that the seeker has to go on welfare. But at least there is support there. So now it's time for the seeker to make a plan for the future. 6 of Pentacles shows up when the seeker has gone through some hardship, and because they know what it's like to have little, they're very generous when they do have money. So this is about, you know, being generous with your money, but it's coming from a place of abundance and kindness and wisdom and life experience. 6 of Pentacles also speak of your personality. This is a personality card. It's, you know, your personality is hugely part of how you create your abundance. So if you're asking about career, it will be a career where your personality is important. It's about giving a lot of yourself in the job. It can also be someone who works for a charity, for example, or works for an organization that is very charitable. But your personality and being very outgoing and friendly, that is a huge part of who you are, and it's often based in what you've been through. Now with all of the tarot cards, and I talked about this in the cups, no one goes from here to here to here to here. That's not life. You can go from Ace of Pentacles to 6 of Pentacles. 6 of Pentacles also speak of a community that's very strong. So, you know, you can go from, when you lay out the cards, you can maybe see Ace of Pentacles, 2 of Pentacles maybe, and 6 of Pentacles. So it's not like you have to go through each step. Depends on how you operate, and there's certain lessons that you can avoid if you make good decisions. But you know, you can, when we talk about the reverse cards in a minute, if you make a wrong investment, then you can easily go from, well, this card will show up reversed, then you can easily go from here to there then. So 7 of Pentacles shows up when the seeker is doing a lot of outdoor work. So this could be landscape work, it could be gardening, it can be any project that is long-term, not short-term. It can be being a student. So this is when you have to look at your pentacles, what you already have. How long is it going to last? This is about budgeting, planning. It's about being, having common sense with money. You could run out of resources if you don't look at your plans long-term. There is a reward happening, but it's not happening yet. So this is your long-term investment. So it could be like, for example, if you want to build your own business, you don't want to get rewards straight away. That's later on. So you need a plan in the meantime. If you're a student, you're going to have a high-paying job most likely in the future. But right now, you might have been in low-paying jobs, casual jobs, things like that. You can also be working on the land, supporting yourself. So you have to take care of the land. You have to take care of what you already have. Use your resources and don't be wasteful with your resources. Eight of Pentacles speak of learning new skills. So this is a card for courses, seminars, also for people who go on internship, entry-level jobs, apprentices, learning from the bottom of a company and being completely the structure of a company, and then knowing every step of the way. So this is like knowing every little detail of an organization, how it works. Having started from the beginning and then worked your way up. So this is someone who knows the details of how something operates. If you're asking about, if this is sort of the advice position, it can mean that you need to upskill. Maybe you just need one little element that will complete your resume. Have a look at what you would like to learn as well. This is someone who really enjoys work and who's really into being really perfectionistic, putting a lot of effort into the details. It has similarities actually with Two of Pentacles with the enjoyment. So someone who really enjoys what they're doing. Nine of Pentacles speak of what looks like overnight success. So this is someone who's probably put in a lot of effort that people don't realize, and when they have success, it looks like they have had overnight success. This is someone who lives in a beautiful place, in luxury, who invests in how they live. So this is about having a really good lifestyle. Often a garden, beautiful garden, sort of like having a beautiful house, beautiful garden, animals, plants, nice clothes, eating good food, living a really good lifestyle, knowing the value of a good lifestyle, having the confidence. And this is kind of the opposite of Five of Pentacles, where the seeker really lacked in confidence and feeling maybe they were less deserving. Here the seeker has a lot of confidence. They know they are deserving and they're not apologizing for having a good life. And this in career speaks of often leadership roles, being really confident in what you're doing and being able to work very much as in being allowed to be an individual in your job, being allowed to be yourself, and also to have minimal supervision. There's a lot of trust in this card. People are trusting in you, and you have trust in others. So you're in a good place in your life when this card is showing up. Then we got the Ten of Pentacles. So this is like this is your family. This is family money, old money. So if this could be a family-owned business, it could be family money that passed down to you or shared between you and your family. It could be your own investments that you are sharing or you are benefiting from. Whatever it is that is sort of an old money. So it can be your retirement fund, for example, or something you invested in a long time ago. So it could be connected to Seven of Pentacles, something you invested in a long time ago, now you're getting the rewards. And it's something that you put a lot of, what you believed in, something you really believe in. So if you believe in family and you invest in having a beautiful home for your family, then there could be that the price of your family home will go through the roof because you have made good investments, because you really believed in what you were doing. It can be having bought land that now has a lot of value. So something you invested in now has much more value. So it's old investments and old money, and it's benefiting you now. So have a look at the court cards. The court cards, when it comes to Pentacles, are people that are really sort of practical people. They know that they know they're operating here on a physical level, and they need to have their physical needs met. They are not airy-fairy about that. They're often very practical and they are making plans for the future. Page of Pentacles can speak of someone who, this can speak of someone who is very much practical, but maybe they lack a little bit in imagination, so it can be like almost too practical. And sometimes they don't like to think outside the box, they just like to go with what they know. And they can lack a little bit in that confidence in themselves because they don't have a lot of life experience in what they're doing. They might just want to stick to a routine. Until, and this is how a person can actually grow, Page of Pentacles speak of someone who's sort of outgrown their routine, and often see this card showing up when someone is looking for a new way of living, a new employment, a new lifestyle. They might be moving. Something they've outgrown themselves in some way, and they're looking for something new. So it's often that they have maybe stuck to the same routine for too long, and now they need something new. They are an expert in what they're doing, and because of that, they are now, in a good position where they can pick and choose, and they're making a very sort of practical decision, a money-oriented decision where they want to be in their career. This card shows up often, very often shows up when people are changing career, looking for new employment. Queen of Pentacles shows up when you have home, and this can be a man and a woman. It can be a man or a woman who are really homey. So homebodies, homebodies. They don't like to travel too much. They love being at home, and they love having home-work balance. They often love working from home. So this card can show up when you want to have a home business. They really are homey. So this is someone who nurtures everything living, plants, animals, and they're often really into cooking and anything to do with creating a good lifestyle in the home, a warm home. This is a home that is warm. When you walk into a home like this, you feel the presence of love, that there's a real nurturing element to this home. This is someone who invests a lot in their home. Their home is their heaven on earth. And they often work hard as well. And the money that they make, they very often invest into the home. They're very caring people. King of Pentacles is the king of cash. That's what I call this guy here. It can be a man or a woman, and it can be in any industry. It doesn't have to be the world of business. It just means whatever this person is doing turns to gold. So whatever you touch now turns to gold. So if you are in any industry, you can turn this into a real cash machine. It's like you have you have mastered something on the material. It's like you've realized something. You realize how to make a lot of money. So this guy here is someone who often has a lot of income coming in. And they're just really good with business. And again, they don't apologize for this. They don't have any, they're not making any apologies for making a lot of money. And that's what I mean with they haven't realized something. There's nothing wrong. They don't feel like there's anything wrong with making money. A lot of cultures and a lot of beliefs have a lot of guilt around money. King of Pentacles speak of having no such thing. It doesn't have to be greedy. It just means they don't feel like they can ever have enough money. So they don't put that limit on themselves. And whatever industry they're on, they're going to do extremely well. So they're often self-employed, or they're in a job that pays very, very well. Often with bonuses and lots of privileges. And when they do work for themselves, it can be, again, in any industry, they just know how to make a sale. When it's reversed, it's quite the opposite. It becomes a man or a woman who has an unhealthy attachment to money. This is sort of person who earns maybe a minimum amount on welfare and who are hanging on to the welfare and won't take a well-paying job because they don't want to lose the welfare. There are people like that. Believe it or not, they will hang on to something that is giving them a little bit rather than take an opportunity that might give them a lot. And they hang on to the little that they got and they're hoarding it. And they just start hoarding and hoarding and hoarding. So this is, when it is reversed, it is someone who makes bad financial decisions and who often is hoarding money. Queen of Pentacles reversed, then it becomes the nurture, then becomes neglect. There is no real nurture, it's just neglect. There is often someone very bitter, a bitter personality who's very victimized, who feels like the world is against them, and who's unable to care and nurture for those around them. Instead, maybe are scolding, and who are maybe putting a lot of pressure on the people around them because they are imbalanced within themselves, and they're having their sort of like that. All the horrors within them, they're constantly projecting that out on their environment, and their environment is suffering as a result. And often I find that this card shows up reversed when people try and buy friends and buy people to be in their lives through money. There's no real connection there. For some reason that's been lost. Knight of Pentacles, reverse can show up when the seeker really wants new opportunities, but then there are none. This is often a timing issue when this card is reversed. I often find when people are really applying for a lot of jobs and they keep getting rejected, then it's reversed. But it's often because if it's the right opportunity hasn't presented itself and the timing is wrong, and that's why it's reversed. It can also be when the seeker really wants to move and have a lifestyle change, but the door is closed and it's a temporary delay because the timing is wrong, and if the seeker proceeds too soon, they will be off track in their life. Always trust when a door is not opening in your life. Always trust that. There's always a reason. And often, if you always were to get what you want, not getting what you want can be like a huge blessing in your life, or something better that is meant for you will come along. So this card shows up reversed when you're in one of those when you feel like all the doors are closed, nothing is opening up for you, but it's because there's something else, that you can't see yet. And if you move forward before time is right, then you will miss out on an even better opportunity. Page of Pentacles reversed show up when... Actually, I want to say one more thing with this card. It can also be that you are so comfortable in your career that drama is happening to make you look for other opportunities, to push you so that you grow. So it can be both, but more likely it's going to be when the seeker really wants an opportunity that hasn't presented itself yet. Have a look at the other cards around. If the other cards look like there's a lot of flow, so if there's a lot of major arcana cards, then it's just a timing issue. If there's a lot of minor arcana cards, then the seeker could be too comfortable and therefore are not pursuing opportunities enough, and that's why it's reversed. So the majors and the minors will tell you what is the difference there. Page of Pentacles reversed is when someone is really comfortable being a student. So this is an eternal student. They're too afraid of, they're in research mode all the time. They're researching, they're not actually implementing. They might be stuck at university for like forever. They're just not confident in actually going and getting that job. They're just in that student lifestyle. Maybe they have casual jobs, but whatever they're studying for or preparing for, they are afraid of that ultimately, and they're avoiding it. This card also speaks of intellectual snobbery. When the seeker has maybe been in some kind of like bureaucracy as well for too long and kind of lost touch with reality of what's actually going on. They don't have any real life experience. They're just talking through, what they've read, or maybe there's been a debate, but they haven't actually got any real life experience for themselves to really know what it is that they're talking about. And they're a bit afraid of that. They're a bit afraid of the real world, and they're kind of hiding away. Let's have a look at these cards here. What does it mean when it's reversed? Ten of Pentacles. When it was upright, it was about your investments coming back, paying off. Everything has grown. Everything has grown. Your investments have grown. When it's reversed, for some reason, your investments have not grown, and they might even be lost. If it is an inheritance, it could be that the inheritance is lost. Maybe your retirement money is gone. Maybe the price of your house has dropped. Something has decreased rather than increased. So there's suddenly less security. Family money could be gone. And there's maybe also conflict in the family. It can also be that there's a delay. So the card sometimes shows up reversed just to tell you, okay, now it's not the right time. And when you want to know when it's the right, if it is just a delay and not because the money is completely gone, have a look if there's a lot of major karma cards. That means often there's just a timing issue. So if you're waiting for an inheritance and it's not coming through for whatever reason, there's some kind of stuck in some legal limbo, then it can be that it's just stuck, but the money is there and it will come later on. But often this Ten of Pentacles reverse will show up when the money is, for some reason it has disappeared. Okay, Nine of Pentacles reversed, then the oasis that you were living in is no longer an oasis. It's more like living in some kind of nightmare rather than living the dream. So it could be that, you know, where you were supposed to have a real comfortable life, you now have a very uncomfortable life. So things are getting out of control, out of hand. So whatever you haven't prepared for, what you used to be able to prepare for and be on top of, for some reason you're not any longer. So it could be that you went too far into a type of life. Maybe it cost too much money. Maybe you live beyond your means and now you kind of are not able to sustain that lifestyle anymore. This lifestyle, it's all about having a good lifestyle. But it's also living within your means and having a lot of practical sense. Being resourceful, but when it's the reverse, it's almost like you went way overboard. The seeker has just gone too far and they're losing grip on reality. They're not looking at their life, they're not taking care of their home. The garden could be completely overgrown, your house could be a complete mess. Whatever is happening, you're not on top of things anymore when this card is reversed. Eight of Pentacles is when you know everything about the business you're working. You kind of work through, you know, the structure of everything because you kind of been through all different roles in a company, for example, and maybe you're upskilling, maybe you're going to seminars, you really know your stuff and you're enjoying your work. But when it's reversed, it's like the details of the job, the pride that you put into it, it's gone. And this also shows up when there's a lot of lacking in certain skills that is needed. So it could be a complete skill shortage. So if you are doing a reading for a company, for example, and this card is showing up, it means that the employees are probably not skilled, or there's just a general lack of skill in the area that you need to run your business. Seven of Pentacles is when you're looking after your pentacles, and when it's reversed, you could run out of resources very quickly, and you're not prepared for what to come. So it's also that the investments that you made and the rewards that you expected to happen, that it for some reason is not coming. There are no rewards. For some reason, it could be even someone else getting the reward. Maybe someone else are being rewarded instead of you, even though you did the work. So any type of intellectual property, for example, you have to protect really well, which this card is showing up reversed. Make sure that people know who you are. This in a company could be that you feel completely ignored and other people are getting recognition even when you are the one that should have the recognition. If you are self-employed, it can mean that you're not really well prepared for the future. And if you are living off the land, if you are working on the land and you're outdoor, and it could just mean that you're running out of work. Things are not blossoming the way that it should blossom for whatever reason. Six of Pentacles reversed. This card speaks of greed. Actually, it's it's very charitable card when it's upright, but when it is reversed, there are no charity here. Now the people are really greedy, and this could be a company that's stealing from its employers, for example, or maybe the seeker is for whatever reason feeling so afraid about their own future, they're unwilling to give. It can also mean that the seeker is in a career where they are unable to give of themselves, or just in life in general, they're unable to give of themselves and they're just isolating themselves more and more and more. And who they really are, their real personality, they're just hiding all of that away, and they're not sharing with anybody. They're not sharing who they are, they're not sharing anything. So they're becoming more and more isolated, and it's often due to fear of being poor. And fear of intimacy, fear of letting people close. 5 of Pentacles reversed speak of when the seeker haven't really got a safety net. So it's like even worse than when it's upright, it's hard, but the seeker has a safety net. When it's reversed, you have to be really careful because that safety net could be gone. It could be that friends and family are falling out with each other. What you normally rely on for help to get through life, because no man is an island. For some reason, those resources are not there. So if you, for example, need help with family members helping each other out and helping with raising children and things like that, when this card is reversed, you'll feel more alone than before. So now it's a good idea to look after your relationships and make sure that your relationships are good and your family relationships are good, and that you don't fall out over silly things that can really hurt you in the future. Because, like I said, no man is an island, and we all need each other at one point. And when this card is reversed, it's almost like the seeker feel just completely alone. This card also shows up reversed when the seeker just feel lost in life in general, and they want change, but they're just too afraid to change, and they're too afraid to. They can't even. They're so. Normally what they could cope with, they no longer can cope with. So have a look at who is in your life, because it could also be that it's just that one person that putting so much pressure and stress on you that it's ruining all of your other relationships. And what you easily could cope with before, suddenly you cannot. Now the seeker is really, they feel like they can see danger everywhere. They do not want to take any risks, and they're just completely, just want to lock themselves away. They just feel like life is just going to take a huge toll on them. And I find that when this card is reversed, it is often that the seeker is just in the environment that they're in, it's just not optimum for them, and they need to really look at who is that person that could make their life so difficult. Or is it that, even if this is a job that they're in, that's really like the worst job for them. Maybe they're in a relationship with the worst person for them. There's something that's not working for the seeker, and it's ruining things in all other areas in their life, and they really need to look at it and see how they can make changes. But when this card is reversed, the seeker is really afraid of making changes because they're in such overwhelm. 4 of Pentacles reversed. Now it's a bit like the King of Pentacles reversed. It's like hoarding. The seeker is now, they really want to. This often shows up reversed when they think that they're really poor, even though they're not. And that is sort of the case a little bit when it's upright as well. It's like they're hanging on to their pentacles. They have plenty, but they're not going to really acknowledge that. When it's reversed, it's like they're really hanging on, and they're not willing to really make any investments to make their money grow. Or they make really foolish investments and they end up losing. And they should know better. But when this card is reversed, it's almost like the money is just slipping through their fingers. And then they end up, it's like being penny smart but pound foolish. So they're hanging on to their pennies, but then their pounds is just pouring out of their fingertips. So it's like, and you see that sometimes with people, they don't want to pay for their coffee, but they have millions in their bank. And then they're making silly mistakes with their money because they have not really got any money sense when that card is reversed. 3 of Pentacles reversed is when the team is falling apart and there's not really any, it's not operating at a very good level. So where they should enhance each other, everybody come together and work together. Instead, they're most likely sabotaging each other. There might be a lot of politics, a lot of hostility happening. There's a skill shortage, maybe even. Maybe the team that was hired to do the job is just not capable of doing it. So this is a workplace where the seeker might feel this is not a good place to come and work. Here's hostility, there's unnecessary politics. The team no one's really interested in actually getting the job done. People are just wanting to have drama, fights, and arguments. So if this is representing your workplace, it's a good idea to look for changes. 2 of Pentacles reverse speak of the seeker really have outgrown what they're doing. So if they're in a workplace, and remember when it is upright, it's at the place that you'd love to go to work and you don't even feel like you're working. But when it's reversed, it's like time is really slow. You're so bored. You could not be more bored with work. It's like you have totally outgrown it, and it's taking away all of your divine inspiration in general. Just like you can't even pour anything else into another project in your life because it's so draining. Your day-to-day life is so draining. You're so bored with it, you have so outgrown it. And the non-resistant attitude that you see in the upright card, it's just not there. Now it's like, it's really hard to get through the day because its time is so slow. So when you get what time you have left that you could pour into something productive, you just feel too drained to do so. Ace of Pentacles reversed speak of this could be like the seeker wants a new life, but for some reason that new life didn't happen. Maybe they were really tempted, or maybe they got an opportunity to invest in that could lead to a new life, but then the opportunity disappears, and so does the money. So this is money that the seeker has to be really careful now that they're not getting taken advantage of financially. People could be stealing from them. They could be a victim of a scam of some kind. If there's a job opportunity and the seeker really wants a job opportunity, then maybe that job opportunity goes to somebody else. So the seeker just feel like they're missing out. But be extra careful with your money when this card is reversed, because it's almost like you're feeling, sometimes there's a lot of pressure to fit in as well. So you're feeling that you have to live a certain way to fit in, and then you have to buy into certain things, and even how you dress and how you present yourself. You maybe feel like you have to buy lots of stuff to fit into where you live, and that is not really who you are. It's like not authentic, and you're spending a lot of money on keeping up the facade, but it's not really you. So then it's not really your dream, it's not really who you really are. So you need to really, and it's superficial stuff anyway. So the cards is saying that you have to be a bit more wiser and think about who you really are. Now is a good time to ask yourself, what do you want? Is this the people and the place and situations you want to be in? And if this is work related, maybe you don't fit in where you work. And there's nothing wrong with that. It could just be that it's very superficial and very materialistic. And also when this card is reversed, it could be that something unfair is happening. So maybe you were the one that were meant to get a promotion, but maybe someone else takes it unfairly from you. So there's something not right when this card is reversed, and it's costing you financially. This is when you have to really look at, your finances. So I hope you enjoyed that video. That was the Pentacles. The next video will be about wands, and wands are your wants. And if you want access to that video, all you have to do is to subscribe to my newsletter, and it will be sent to you in the email. Bye, and thanks for watching.